Clones 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations. They call themselves the Bad Batch.
We forgot to do audio check to make sure you sound good.
Oh, too late now.
Oh, dude, we're gonna ride for it. I think you do, though. Because no one used my computer, so you should be good.
Hey everyone, welcome to another amazing episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And that's it tonight. Just
wow,
the two of us.
Look at that. Yeah.
Yep, so it's just the two of us. Andrew was not able to join us because he has family in town for the holiday weekend, and he had to be there with them.
Correct.
So
no Andrew tonight. But you know what? We were actually on time tonight. So Andrew, when you go back and edit this podcast, it might be you. No, I'm just kidding.
Reevaluate your life and see what you can do better.
Yeah. How can you get on time next time, Andrew? No, I'm just kidding.
But anyway, before we jump into the deep dive and whatnot of the episode, let's just quick go over our socials like we normally do. We'll do this quick. We got Facebook and Instagram at Empire Radio Podcast. We're on Twitch, which is Empire Radio.
Twitch.tv/Empire Radio.
Yep. And so we do the live streams of all of our podcasts on Tuesdays and then on Fridays, as we're doing the Bad Batch as well, at 8 p.m. Central or 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to join the live chat and the live stream, join that. It's a lot of fun. So it's always a banger.
It's always a banger. You know what,
Yep.
Jeremiah? I just realized this is the beginning of it. Well, not Empire Radio, but you and me are
Throwback.
the OG, the throwback.
Throwback.
Hashtag throwback in the chat right now. We should get that going. Cause
Someone did ask if we could have Josiah as a guest sometime.
really?
One of our OG Mandalorian podcast fans. So
Maybe.
But anyway, we're also on Discord. That's where it's at. Where if you want to be part of this family,
Correct.
that's where it's always popping in Discord. So if you go to our Instagram or on Facebook, there's links available there for the Discord just to jump right in. And so
Also, there's a link on the Twitch as well. So.
Yep. So yesterday we had 4 people jump in. That was fun. And then today we got a new one. So we're constantly getting higher and higher.
We're growing.
Our member account. So it's always fun. Making a lot of good friends there. So don't forget to join that. But we're also on YouTube as well. Star Wars or Empire Radio Star Wars podcast on YouTube. So we take this live stream and we put it up on YouTube as well. And then we also do some other fun videos and whatnot. I do some cooking videos, Star Wars themed cooking videos. So
If you want to cook.
if you want to know how to make some salacious berry crumb cake named after your favorite Quaking monkey lizard, go look at that video too. It's a banger.
Do you have another video in the works in your mind?
I have one. It's not gonna be the next one.
Oh.
But it's gonna be a fun one, and then it's gonna be for specific people, some of our fans.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I don't know when it could be next month. It could be 5 months from now.
Oh wow, you're gonna wait that long?
I don't know.
I don't know. We had two this OT's in the chat. What's up? But we had 2 from you this week or this month. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
But I'm sending in my computer to get fixed. So who knows when I'll get my.
That's true. Yeah, that's
so
true.
maybe if you or Andrew wanna do a cooking video, there's a coffee one in the Spire cookbook thing. I could have you guys do.
Actually, though, Jeremiah, it would be cool if you and me do one together.
And then you
the
make
coffee
me
one.
drink the coffee.
No, I wouldn't make you drink it, but I could prep the coffee for you, and then we could just hang
Good
out
idea.
one evening and watch Star Wars and cook together. And then
That's a
I'll probably
possibility.
most likely cheat on my diet and eat it with you.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say. But anyway,
What?
anyway.
All right. Well,
That's it. I think that's it for social stuff. So get connected. It's a lot of fun.
yes.
But do you have the button?
To fly over? You
To
already
fly
want to
over?
fly? Wow. Dude,
We got a
everything's
lot to talk
everything's
about.
faster tonight. You guys notice?
Yep, I don't know why, but
I'm just kidding. All right. We can fly over right now.
all right. So this is episode 5, Rampage. So even though Andrew's not here, he recorded a little message for everyone to give his overall thoughts on the show for this
Yes.
episode, because that's what we normally do. So he sent that in. So Drew, if you want to hit the button.
I'll hit the button. We can listen to it because I haven't actually heard it. So hopefully Andrew didn't say any naughty words or anything like that. But, all right, let's listen.
Hey everyone, Andrew here, and I am pleased to tell you about a word.
Oh Lord.
No, I'm just joking. I'm not going to do the Wesley Andrews ad, but I do want to let you all know that I'm going to miss being here. I'm going to miss you all dearly, and
We missed you
yeah, just
too.
wanted to take a quick moment to share my thoughts about episode 5 of the Bad Batch, season 1, just so that I could be here in the Force at the very least. So first and foremost, I think that this is my second favorite episode, second only to episode 1 so far. We haven't had an episode yet that has completely dethroned that for me, but this was a really, really enjoyable episode. I enjoyed this a lot more than I guess I was expecting to. Not to say that I wasn't expecting to enjoy it, but it was just really fun. It was really fun all the way through. It was another beautiful episode. The animation and the artwork was incredible as usual, and I thought it was really cool to see, another little mini story, but one that treated the Bad Batch more as mercenaries, or bounty hunter maybe isn't the right word, but yeah, mercenaries. That was really cool to see them go to a job in exchange for information from Sid, and I really liked that Bib Fortuna was a secondary character in this. I think that was a really cool world building tie-in to him and Jabba and the organization that they run as well. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, super enjoyable episode. I think my favorite character was Moochie. It was really, really amazing to see an adolescent Rancor for the first time. I've never seen one, and so if we've had them in some sort of media before, I've never experienced it. So I thought it was really cool to see how small they are when they're adolescent and before they're the giant size that they normally are, that at least the way we've seen them. And so I loved Moochie. I really enjoyed Moochie's interactions with Wrecker and with Omega. Of course, Wrecker and Omega both provided a lot of really great humor, again, for this episode that I enjoyed. So yeah, all in all, it was a really, really fun adventure. Definitely did not feel like filler to me. And I think as we progress through these episodes, we're beginning to get a consistent little, almost like a little breadcrumb of information about the overall story. So this week, we see that Omega picks up the energy bow, and also we get just a little bit more about Fennec Shand than we had before. We have a little bit more of a sense that the person who hired her is a little bit more difficult to get to. So it's like every episode, they're giving us just ever so slightly a little bit more information. And I think now I've definitely warmed up to that. I've said in the past that I like episodes with more shock value, but I think I'm beginning to kind of get a feel for the way that the season is going to go. And I enjoy those little bits, and I'm actually beginning to prefer that over giving us more information, because it gives you something to look forward to in the future. So anyways, I'll quit rambling because I could go on for a long time. So yeah, I'll let Drew and Jeremiah get back into it. But yeah, I loved the episode. I would give it a 8 out of 10. 8 lightsabers out of 10. I think it was really enjoyable. I liked it a lot, and it gives me a lot of excitement for what is to come. So there's a condensed version of all of my thoughts. I hate that I won't be here to pick every single detail apart with you guys, because I enjoy doing that. But you know what to do. I have faith in you all, and I know you're going to have an awesome time and produce an awesome episode. So this has been Andrew. I'll see everyone again, starting again on Tuesday. This is just a one-time break for me. So I'll be back on Tuesday for the stream and for the recording. But until then, may the Force be with you.
And with you, Andrew. I don't know about you, Jeremiah, but I'm kind of sad that Andrew's not here tonight. That made me miss him.
This is the first episode that he hasn't been with us, right?
Of Empire Radio, yeah.
Of Empire Radio. Because I think there was once last summer where I wasn't available for once, and you guys did like some book thing. I don't know. But
oh, true. There was
but
one.
other than that, we don't usually miss people. So, but anyway, Andrew loved the episode. So, Drew, what did you think of the episode overall?
Overall, I agree with Andrew. I thought it was definitely my second favorite episode of this series. I liked episode 3 a lot because it was pretty intense for any Star Wars medium, especially like the whole thing with like with Crosshair and how they like his dynamic and how he is. Like it's very intense. I'm surprised Andrew didn't mention anything with Wrecker headache issue. Like he didn't mention anything, so I know that he probably is going to mention. We'll probably see more of that in the next episode, and so Andrew will probably get more intense about that whole thing. The only thing for me that this episode missed was a Crosshair development.
Yeah, because that's 2 episodes in a row that we haven't seen him. So, I wonder what. I guess that's kind of like. I think we're seeing things from the perspective of the Bad Batch. So like since they're not seeing Crosshair, like it's not necessary then because But I'm sure that pretty soon it's gonna really. I
feel like next episode we might see him or something.
Yeah, it's gonna get pretty hot.
Because at the end of this episode, the main thing was what they needed was money and friends. So they gotta find friends now because they kind of have money now, and so. Yeah. So it seems like they're going to find maybe Rex next episode or something like that. Like, I don't know. Overall, I thought it was really cool. Now, my real question is that Rancor the same Rancor?
It is not.
It's not.
Because
it's a different name, right?
Different name. In Return of the Jedi, it's Patissa or something like that. And so this is Moochie. So unless they change the name of it, but also like...
Or Moochie's like the slang for...
or something, but like also they're the different colors too. Cause
true. Well, but maybe when you grow up, you get a little darker.
They could, but all we know is that the names are different, and so
correct.
I'm pretty sure the story group is trying to get everything perfect story. Like they're not going to accidentally drop the ball on the name of already named character. So,
correct.
I'm assuming that maybe it's like. Maybe it's the offspring of Patissa, or maybe the parent of Patissa or something. I don't know.
Maybe it's the offspring of Moochie. Because it's been a long time. Maybe Moochie is... You know what I mean?
We'll see.
Because by the time Jedi, Moochie would be pretty old, so maybe...
So maybe,
maybe one of
25 years, so...
Could be one of Moochie's babies. I don't know. Overall, I was super pumped of the Rancor. I was like, dude, this is bringing me back to OG Star Wars. I love Rancors. So I was excited. I loved it. Overall, I loved the whole dynamic. I love that just how she was able to save the Bad Batch and just that whole thing and the story and being on the slave planet again, all that's fun. It was a really good episode overall. Like I was like, this is a good 25-minute of content especially compared to last week's. Like I really enjoyed this episode. So overall, I would say probably pretty high too, like an 8 out of 10 lightsabers for me. Like the whole time. I mean, you can go back and watch on YouTube of the watch party, but I was pretty giddy the entire time. So overall I liked it. Jeremiah, what's your overall thoughts?
I liked it. I think it was like kind of what Andrew was saying about how it's kind of a little breadcrumb trail towards the bigger plot, and so like
we're kind of
because
getting used to
I
that
think
story.
I think what sticks out though is like because the original synopsis of the show that we got last summer was that they were going to be like mercenaries.
True.
And we hadn't gotten that until this episode, and how it ends.
It seems like it's not going to be
like
the end.
Sid kind of threatened, like, now you're my slave because I have leverage over you.
Because
she knows that they're a high value target. And
yeah,
so,
that dynamic, like Hunter did not seem happy at the end of that conversation.
So we know that they're going to take more
jobs.
More jobs from Sid, and so I wonder if part of like the going forward, if maybe towards the end of the season, it's them trying to free themselves from Sid's hold on them.
Or I mean, you know the easiest way to do that is just kind of just kill her.
Well, I don't think they would do something like that, but
yeah, no, I see what you mean.
So but I also kind of wonder if the way they hook up with Rex is they're both Rex and Bad Batch are hired separately for the same mission.
Ooh.
And they run into each other. Or
that'd be interesting.
Or they're hired together.
Yeah. It was interesting that, like, Shan too she's new. Like, she's a newer bounty hunter. Like,
yeah.
And so, like, that whole thing about how they actually didn't know who hired her either was very interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like when we go into little predictions towards the end of this podcast episode, I have some thoughts of maybe who could be hiring her, and it'd be really interesting. I don't know if it's real, but I don't know. It was also really cool to see the guards again. I love those big old pigs. I can't get enough of them. So, I don't know. It had a lot of cool Easter eggs of Jedi, which I just loved that stuff. But all right, you want to do full breakdown?
Yep. So it starts out, they're in their ship like always, and they're doing they said they're gonna go to Ord Mantell, and while they're doing this, they're given Omega comm link thing, which is cool that she's more and more getting integrated into the team.
Also, I'm like, dude, that would have helped her like twice, and I'm like, why it took them this long to give her that? But okay.
Yep. So, Echo knows of someone named Sid on this planet that the Jedi had a relationship with and trusted her. So, I wonder, like, because we don't know this Sid, like we never seen her before, and it's like we never saw any of that in the Clone Wars where Echo would have found this information out, unless when he was hooked up by the Techno Union, if that was this information that was passed through, like, oh, the Jedi have this contact, we gotta keep an eye on the Sid, and so that's how he got the information. I don't know, but if the Jedi had such a good relationship, it would make sense if Rex had that same information as well, because maybe Echo and Rex were on the same mission together when they heard this information from a Jedi, which would probably have been maybe Anakin or something. And so that's another way to how maybe they could get cross paths again with Sid, is the same information. So I'm looking forward to that. And so it was really great that so was Sid a Trandoshan?
I think so.
It looked like
it seemed like her,
but it's like usually Trandoshans are pretty big and stocky, like strong.
Yeah.
Like she's kind of short and.
Well, she seemed older too.
Yeah.
Chat help us out, but she seemed kind of older, so maybe she's just a little, like old ladies kind of get a little more.
Well, maybe we haven't seen a female Trandoshan before.
That's a good question.
And so female Trandoshans just might be a lot shorter.
Or they could be like the same. We just don't know. Yeah, maybe. But she seemed a little like a little overweight too, so maybe that might be having something to do with it. How did you like her voice?
Yeah, I like how expressive her face was too. I
Oh,
could
true.
tell that it was like an old lady, and
Mm-hmm.
just the way they expressed it and stuff. And
It
I
was
liked her
it
character
was
a
a little
lot.
bit more droopy face. So yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I forget, it was either Dune or Boom in the chat in the watch party. They're saying that it was one of them, but they're saying that she reminded them of the lady from Monsters Inc., the old lady.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
she kind of had that talk and like that feel to her in the
Yeah,
beginning. So I was like, yeah, I could see that.
yeah, I could see. Yeah,
Shout out to
um,
Monsters Inc. That's a good. That was one of the first movies I remember watching in movie theaters. The first Monster Inc.
really interesting.
Yeah.
But but I liked her like sarcastic like humor.
Yeah.
And how she connected with Omega, like saying that she's like I like that Omega figured out that she was Sid.
Yeah, that made me think like, oh, that's
She's just very smart. Like
yeah.
we see that like she's just very smart in everything she does, and so and I liked like a little bit later, like maybe like a minute or two later after like they met, but like she says something when Sid says to the group that Omega is the smart one. I liked how Wrecker like gave her like put out his hand and she slapped it like high five type
Yeah,
deal,
yeah.
low five. But it was just funny that like
It's
I think that moment there is supposed to be about that relationship between Wrecker and Omega and how we predict that Wrecker is going to um, turn
turn
because of
and
Chip. And
yeah, because
I
well,
think there's two instances in this episode
mm-hmm.
where because one is like the one where he's holding his head
Uh-huh.
again because that's the first time we see him hold his head since the first time we saw it in episode 3 because last episode they didn't show that but
Yeah.
Andrew said like he was more aggressive and here that totally reaffirms that something's going off this ship like it's
Correct.
definitely that. And the second thing that I think a lot of people would miss is when they were captured and they were shocking him. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if that shock is like have the same effect as the shock that like Crosshair was getting when he was in like the bed thing, and they're like
That's a good
turning it up.
question.
I wonder if
Yeah.
it would have the same
Effect
effect.
on
Like
him.
yeah, like maybe
Charge
Rancor
it up a little bit.
just a little bit because he did fight a Rancor, so like maybe his aggression was turned up.
Well, and he fought it, but then they both gassed out. So
Yeah.
like we didn't really see, but he like threw the rock at her, and I thought that was pretty intense too. The way he
Yeah.
threw that rock, it seemed like it was the next level. Also, another thing that I noticed too is that Omega caught that his head was hurting. Like when he walked by, you know how he was like holding his head, he walked by, and Omega like it panned to Omega like she's catching on to it too. So
Oh,
I
I
think
missed that.
yeah, it seems like almost like Omega might figure it out before everyone else and be like, hey, it's okay, like it's not his fault, like whatever he's about to do is not his fault, kind of thing. and she has a special relationship with him, and it's almost like an uncle, or like, not, I wouldn't say like a dad, but like something like a best bud kind of
Yeah.
relationship. Like he's watching out for her, but then they also like, you know, like they're playing checkers in the back room or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like they have a special relationship with them.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it also seemed Boom in the chat was saying it also seems like Hunter's catching on as well, because he's like, are you okay? And then he's like, yeah, I'm fine.
yeah.
And he walked by and Hunter's like, oh no, it's the same part. Like
Yeah,
it's definitely a thing though. 100%.
Yeah.
You know, all the time we were like, maybe it's a thing, maybe it's like, this confirmed that it's gonna be a situation. And so
yeah. But anyway, they want to get information about Fennec from Sid, and so the only way she's gonna find the information is if they trade jobs, basically, where so they pay her by doing a pickup of a kid named Moochie, and so which later on we know is the Rancor, not an actual kid.
Which I thought was hilarious.
Now, immediately I didn't understand, like, because they were saying, "Oh, there's the kid," but the reason why immediately I was like, "That doesn't make sense," is because the kid had
Parents.
the same, like a parent, like the same
Yeah.
species.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't make sense to me that they would have just the kid taken and not the family. Or
Exactly. It was weird for me as well because
so,
it's like if there was a like someone's trying to get this kid back, it wouldn't make sense why their dad was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, I was just waiting for there to be a twist on who it was. I just never expected it to be a Rancor.
Exactly. I was like, that's kind of weird that they're saving this kid and not the person with the kid. But at the same time as well, I never thought that the outcome would have been a Rancor. Like out of all of them, I was like, what? So
Yeah. So, they accepted the terms and they go on a mission. So they go down and they leave Omega to watch the ship or be in the ship. But it goes south pretty quick because the dragon thing, which is a Breezak species,
ooh, fun fact.
blows their cover, so they get captured.
Also reminded
immediately.
me of the dragons from Avatar, the blue Avatar. The ones they ride.
Kind of, yeah.
Because it has like smaller wings that just come out, you know?
Maybe, maybe it's we'll see more of those in those new movies coming out for Avatar.
Oh, I forgot. They're still trying to do that.
Well, I think it's supposed to come out next year.
2022, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're gonna do like one like every year for like 4 years.
Yeah.
So
if you want your Avatar podcast,
yeah, or yeah, we'll do Avatar / Avatar. It'll be the Airbender /
just call it
they have the
Avatar.
live. I think they're gonna start filming the live action Airbender movie.
And who
or
bought that?
TV series for
Who bought that?
Netflix.
Ooh, that might be something.
And so
Maybe a Patreon thing that we do.
maybe let us know on Discord if you want us to do
Correct.
Avatar: The Last Airbender live action.
Avatar. Just call it Avatar.
Okay. Well, there's going to be the Avatar verse, so like they're doing a new TV series too.
Yeah.
Of like a new Avatar.
Just a lot of avatars.
Anyway, this is Star Wars. But the Bad Batch gets captured, and then the Zygerians, they find the ship, and Omega's able to escape before they find her.
Mm-hmm.
So then, the Bad Batch are captured, and like the head slaver guy comes down and starts talking to him, and the Republic, they banned slavery. Well, the Republic doesn't exist anymore, so like there's that, and I wonder like how the Zygerian Empire, like how they'll get connected with the Empire, like if they're gonna like be allies with the Empire to like help them like enslave people throughout the galaxy.
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting.
Also, is that the same? I know it's the same group of people that we saw in Clone Wars before, but is it the same group of people that we saw in Solo? The same enslavers that had.
No, because those were the Pikes.
Oh
Or
yeah.
the Pikes with the Kessel.
Yep.
Lions. Those are the Pikes. So I don't think we've seen Zygerians in live action yet. But I always think they're cool looking. They look like kind of like cats.
Yeah, that's what
creatures.
Yeah, they're like cat.
So I like that species. I think they just look cool. But they're arguing about that. But they have like the shot collars on, so they can't really do anything. But as this is happening, they see that Omega is doing what she can to free them and help. So she's like crawling across ropes or whatever, across whatever, and she's trying to think about how she can do help. And they're trying to contact her, like, if we had our gear, like yelling it really loud so she can.
Yes, because once they saw her, like he said it really loud on purpose so that she realized it, which was really smart on their end.
Yeah, so she's trying to do her thing, and then as she's going down, she almost blew her cover by knocking a rock down.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wrecker kicked that giant rock.
That was so
Like,
cool.
That is a, you have to kick that so hard.
He kicked it like a soccer ball. It was like, dang.
That's like at least a 30, 40 pound
boulder, and it shattered
boulder.
too.
Yeah, and it's kicked at the guy, broke his shins. Like,
yeah, dude, that guy is not walking after that one. That was intense.
But as Omega makes her way down, she finds this cage with something in it. I'm like, okay, definitely she's gonna release it. Like, classic, whatever, release the dragon or whatever.
Yeah,
the
whatever
monster,
is in there.
to be a diversion type thing. And so when she's unlocking the cage, she gets captured. I think it was really funny. Like, we caught you sneaking around. I was like, I wasn't sneaking. I was. What did she say?
Releasing.
Or
it was like something like that.
Unlocking.
Unlocking. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And that was just cool that she's like smart to like say something like that.
Yeah.
And then they started freaking out like, get that cage under control. No, go.
Yeah.
And then it breaks out. And then I thought it was funny that the Bad Batch was able to easily break free of their.
Well, because remember before that, Wrecker was like, they're getting looser, and then he got shocked. So, like, it seemed like he could have done it at any point. It was just a matter of time. Yeah. So, like, he just needed a good distraction from them so he didn't get shocked again.
So that was cool that they were just easily able to break free of that. But then, like, a lot of stuff happened all at once. So Hunter started to fight the main slaver guy. And then, but then Moochie is fighting the dragon thing. And then, Omega and everyone else, they're trying to escape and run away. I like that we finally get the earlier in the episode we see that the slavers have those energy bows, and so this is the episode where we're gonna see her get her weapon.
Yeah, I called that too. I was like, oh, she's gonna get her weapon now because they have these bows.
Those bows are cool, dude. Like,
they almost look like a shield too.
How it folds up and then opens up, and I think that's a cool thing. So I feel like that she's gonna get proficient with that weapon as the series goes on, and so that's cool. Because we don't really see bows in Star Wars, like bows and arrows.
Not like that. Like, the only thing close to it, I think, would be Chewie's crossbow, but that's like a crossbow though. It's not like that. So
did the Night Sisters have a bow thing?
Dude, I don't know. Chat, help us out.
Maybe were we thinking of that before, like when the trailer dropped about that?
I think we mentioned something about that.
But that was like magic bows. Like, this one's more like science bows.
Yeah, I don't know. They looked really cool. Like, and I love how it almost closes like a shield on the arm, and then you can just like release it by holding it or something. It pops up. Like, it seems very cool.
I thought it kind of looked like it had like the same outline as Boba Fett's jetpack with rocket on top, like the same shape.
Oh, kind of, yeah. Now that you say that.
But I think it's gonna be a cool thing for like cosplay when people like make a functioning, like opening and closing one.
Oh, I'm excited for the ideas that people are gonna have with it.
Well, there's gonna be so many Bad Batch stuff when Star Wars Celebration comes around. Is that next year?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's gonna be some cool stuff with that. But so just to go quick, so Moochie defeats the Rancor by just like grabbing the tail and biting it and throwing it on the ground type of thing. Hunter,
I guess Ewoks had bows. So T said that in the chat that the Night Sisters had bows. I think she said, and then she also said that Ewoks had bows.
Oh, okay.
So she's not wrong.
Yeah. And then Hunter fights a slaver. I forget how that played out.
Well, because Hunter said, I'll take him on, and then he got whipped and shocked, but then he overpowered it, and I don't think he
did. He
I think the Rancor just threw him away. I want to say I don't actually remember the end of that fight. Now that you say that,
Yeah, I don't.
this is why we
remember
had
that.
3 people.
Yeah.
Because then Andrew would remember.
We need
it.
to phone a friend. Nate, call him right now. Hey, how did that end again?
Yeah.
But it was just really funny how Wrecker had to fight the Rancor to assert like superiority. Like,
Yeah, that was so interesting. That's an interesting concept. Because I thought in the way that they were going, it seemed like they were clearly killing the people or hurting the people that were hurting the Rancor, right? Like they were helping the Rancor. So it seemed like maybe the Rancor would just pick up on that and like, hey, this person let me out. They beat up all these people with me, so it should be easy to win and then or like to join. And then nope, that wasn't the case at all. It was like they had to beat it up to show that they're equal or like one's more dominant. And then T in the chat said that Hunter fought him and won. So
I just can't remember. Like,
I don't remember how he won though.
I can't remember the defeat though. Like,
I don't think he killed him with his knife.
No, he didn't kill him. I don't think. But anyway, while all this stuff is happening, we have a flash to Sid in her office, and she's talking with a hologram. Now, I didn't pick up from what they showed that was Bib Fortuna. Did you catch that at that moment?
It sounded like it was, but I wasn't 100% sure. Like before we saw who it was, I'm like, this voice sounds familiar. I'm like, I just don't want to jump the gun and say it was Bib. But I'm like, this person did sound familiar, but I couldn't leave my like.
See, at first I thought it was Cham Sandula.
Ooh.
But like he speaks English, so like it didn't make sense to me. And then the thing is, like, I watched it twice, the episode twice every time before recording, and so the first time I watch it without subtitles because I don't want to get spoiled in the dialogue about what's about to be said or whatever. But when you watched it in the subtitles, it says he's talking in Huttese. So like, if I had the subtitles on, I probably would have made that connection.
That makes sense. I had the subtitles on, but I didn't pick up on it. Also, that was one thing that was kind of disappointed is that any conversation they had with the other people, there was no subtitles.
Right.
Which was kind of And T in the chat also said that they never showed what happened to that guy after Hunter won the battle. So.
Oh, okay.
It's probably still out there.
But eventually Wrecker, he is the last man standing against the Rancor, so he asserts dominance, and so I thought it was just funny how like he's just like jumping on him, just, like punching him in the face and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
And then at the end, they're both just super
gassed out,
and they're just like barely hitting. Like it was just
and then they just hug each other at the end, pretty much.
Basically,
And it was funny.
And then because he has a dominance, like the Rancor follows his lead, so the whole group is dominant over the Rancor because they're like walking side by side.
Yeah.
Omega's riding, but before we see that, like it's back in the office, and Bib Fortuna comes with 2 guards.
Gamorrean guards.
Yeah, Gamorrean, and so I was like, oh, that's Bib, like that's definitely. And then,
dude, I was so pumped. I was so giddy. Dude, I love seeing fat pigs, dude. They're my favorite. I don't know what it is. It's probably just because of old school. Like, I just think of Tatooine when I see them. And so, like, that whole thing, I was so pumped. I was like, this is so dope. I love it. Give me more Bib. Give me more Tatooine.
But that's when I was just first thinking, like, is this the same Rancor, like, from Return of the Jedi and stuff? But apparently the name's different, so...
The name's different, and also Bib wasn't the owner of the other Rancor.
Yeah, but he's Jabba's second in command. So
correct. Like, so I was like, is this the same? Because that would be such a cool storyline.
I thought it would have been great if they did that. But the only way, if it was the same one, what they should have done is bring the Rancor Whisperer that we see that's crying when
at the end.
Yeah, but I don't understand why they wouldn't make it the same one.
Yeah.
Like, if they made it the same one, it would have been so cool because it would have been like oh, this Rancor in episode 6
Mm-hmm.
had contact with the Bad Batch. Like that would have been such a cool.
It's cool tie-in, and like to see
Yeah.
that Rancor, like, because
Like
like
a backstory.
yeah, because you know the Whisperer was the original actor who played Jabba in a New Hope.
Yeah, I think I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would have been really cool, but maybe that Rancor actually has some story in canon that we don't know about. I don't know. Like, there must have been a reason why they didn't do it.
Right.
But I thought it was still really cool. And like we said, maybe that's the offspring of that Rancor. I don't know, or vice versa.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they're
Uh,
probably not going to revisit it in the show.
I was gonna
but-
say, like, it's not like we're gonna find out. It's up to our own imagination, probably. But it was still really cool, and like I said, it made me want to go watch Jedi really bad. Like I loved it.
But so the job is done, and so they get their 30% of the fee paid, and then they get the information on Fennec. So like we said earlier, she's a new mercenary,
Mm-hmm.
and it mentioned that she is part of a guild, so which is interesting.
Oh yeah, that is really interesting. That
And
changes
so, like,
it a lot.
I wonder if like I'm assuming that there's many guild factions throughout the galaxy. It's not just one,
Yeah.
but it's just interesting that she's part of a guild, and so that's how Din Djarin, many years later, has knowledge of her because she's a guild member
Mm-hmm.
of something, whatever.
When
But-
they first got the bounty and they said the child, like, go save a child, were you thinking at all maybe it was Grogu?
No, it never even crossed my mind at all.
Oh, it crossed my mind for like 5 seconds. Like, is this Grogu? Like, that'd be so weird if that's how they tied it in.
It would have been crazy, but that would have been just
That would have
too
been
much of a
great.
That would have been too much of a distraction. But,
You're not wrong. But I was like, wait, is that Grogu? And I'm like, there's no way. But it's cool though that they also added that in because it does make it feel more like, besides Finnick, it makes it feel like such a smaller universe galaxy because they are tying in bounty hunters and factions and guild members, and yeah, it just feels more together, which is really cool for new viewers, that jumped in because of the Mandalorian. Like, they might jump into this, and like this makes them feel more at home. They understand the contact they're getting, so I think it's really cool. It's definitely Dave Filoni. It feels like Dave Filoni. So
Yeah. But Sid, she goes on to more information she gives is that Fennec Shan's job is a direct commission, and so I think that means it's not through the guild; it's to the exact hire. So it's kind of like
correct.
So the difference is,
There's not more than
like,
one bounty hunter.
no. I think it's direct commission means like if Bib Fortuna hired the Bad Batch to get Moochie, that's direct commission, but they did it through
The guild, so they had to get cut.
a guild type thing. And so for this, the job of getting Omega is a sensitive thing where they can't have too many people knowing, and so it's a direct commission. So they directly hired Fennec for this. And so do we still think that it's the Kaminoans, or do we think it's someone else? Because you said you had a theory or something.
Well, I was thinking it wouldn't. The more that I'm getting to this episode, it wouldn't make sense because I was originally like, oh, maybe it is like even possibly like Jabba, but then that wouldn't make sense because they're like we're all there and they didn't try to get him or anything like that. So it wouldn't make sense that it would be Jabba or anything. Now that I think about it, but yeah, I'm thinking it's more the Kaminoans and they're just trying to get her. Now, what's interesting is that Hunter thinks that they're after them, not just her,
Right.
because that's what Hunter was saying. Like, why would she be after us? So and Zib, that's her name, Zib.
Sid?
Sid was saying like, oh, like I'm not gonna give up your guys' position, and but like you know what I mean? Like it feels like they still don't realize that it's her.
Right.
Like
I don't. Yeah. So, well, I don't know.
I
Because
don't-
like,
it was, or maybe Hunter didn't want Zid to know that it was
no, I think he's just saying
us in general.
us in general because in order to get to Omega, she has to get
That's
inside the whole
fair.
group.
That's fair.
And like last episode, Fennec was like, well, Omega was like, "You're all by yourself. Like you could join us." And Fennec's like, "That's the best idea I've heard all day," or something like that. So it's like she wanted to get to the group to kill the Bad Batch, and then take Omega. But I don't know. I just the plot thickens with
Yeah, it does.
this
It
hire,
gets
and
it
so-
more interesting that they didn't actually give us an answer. We thought we were gonna get an answer, but we didn't get one, which I love that. I love that aspect of that. Like, I don't want the answer right away. I'm kind of like on Andrew's side with this. Like, the more little story that we're getting, it seems like this is the story of the Bad Batch. Like, this is how the way it's going, and I am down for that. Like, I like the flow that they're actually going at right now, and I'm gonna be more like Andrew in the sense of like I'm gonna go for the ride. Like I'm on this ride now, and let's just see how it plays out. You know.
right.
So.
But the way the episode ends, like we mentioned earlier, was, Sid's like, I see that you guys have a lot of value, and I can keep secrets, implying, but I'll only keep the secret if you keep doing jobs for me. And so, I think that's what's going to end up happening because that's what the original synopsis was, that they were mercenaries in
Yeah.
an ever-changing galaxy or whatever.
Well, and it makes
So-
sense that they're mercenaries too because they have to make money somehow. They have to be able to survive in the galaxy because before they're given all their supplies and stuff, and they don't have that option anymore. So it makes sense that this is the only way they're going to be able to like do things. Is one get friends and one get money. Now we see that they have money right now, so I'm hoping next episode they get friends. But before we get into deep predictions, you know what's really good with predictions?
What's that?
Coffee.
What does coffee have to do with predictions?
I have no idea. But
I don't know. Just push the button. All the people in the chat want to hear it. So
Yes, let's get it.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor for today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that they have a subscription service that gets those amazing coffee beans delivered to your door on an either weekly, bi-weekly, or a monthly basis. Unfortunately, we're all being negatively affected by this virus right now. But that being said, what a better time to try some new coffee and support a local business. I know they'll greatly appreciate it, and we will too. After all, using the code Empire Radio with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, when you start a new subscription at wesleyandrews.cc, you'll get 50% off your first purchase. I can't think of a better deal. Get 50% off, support a local Minneapolis coffee shop, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
do it.
Go get it. And you guys thought you weren't going to hear any more from Andrew. Well, you were wrong. Andrew is still with us no matter what. So, yeah.
Yep. So I do think that next episode we'll see Rex, because in that brief half second that we see him in the trailer, when they're walking up the ledge, Omega has the bow on her back, and so
Oh, true.
it would make sense that in the next episode it's gonna be something that's on her that she's carrying rather than something, because probably what's gonna happen is we're not going to see her carrying it like in every scene like we will at first. And so
Yeah.
I'm assuming we'll see Rex next week, which I need Rex content.
Yeah. So I'm trying to break down that trailer in my head still, and I feel like at this point this is everything. Like once
Well,
we see
there
Rex.
Well, there is a scene, and it might have been from the second episode. I can't remember, but there's a scene when they're fighting clone troopers like in a building. I think. Clone troopers come walk in, and then they're standing there or something like that.
Well,
So I think there's.
yeah.
That's the only thing I can remember from the trailer.
I'll have to watch it again.
But I probably won't watch it because I just don't want to.
Predict and like.
I don't want to get spoiled, but even though I've already seen it like 1,000 times, but like,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I want to be surprised from now on. So.
Because I mean that was a while ago, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't have anything else. Do you have any other predictions or thoughts?
no,
Ideas?
like you said, I was almost thinking we were gonna get Rex in this episode. So I feel like it's getting close. Like I said before, like they said money and friends. We got money, now we need friends. And they know that Rex is out there, and doesn't have the chip, or Rex is not part of the Empire because he was at the base or he went to that one guy in episode 2. So they know that he's out there, so maybe they're gonna try to find him next to help him out because they just need someone else to help them navigate through the galaxy essentially. And so
Right.
So I'm hoping we get Rex. If not, maybe next episode is just about Crosshair and his development over there, which I'm also not mad at. I do want to see more of the development of the Empire and how they're doing and what Rex is going through, because it is very interesting. It's very intense. And this episode was really intense too, but it was also very lighthearted. So I think we need some more intense parts now. Like it's been a couple episodes that we haven't seen someone get burned alive, and why
Do
not?
you think they would do an episode where we don't see the Bad Batch at all and it's only Crosshair?
I think so.
That would be
Like,
interesting.
I don't know if it's next episode, but I feel like that might be a thing because at the end of the day, he's still a Bad Batch member, and maybe we'll see his development. They haven't shocked him in a while, and it's slowly wearing off or something. Like it could be something like that, or maybe if we don't see the full maybe like Wrecker flips and somehow gets captured, and then it's them two. I don't know. There's something.
Right.
But also something that she said too was that they're unique. Like there's something that they want from them, like the Empire wants them. So it's not that they're like, even she realized that they weren't the normal clones. Like there was something unique about this group of people. And so it's going to be interesting. I'm okay with seeing a full episode of just Crosshair and his development and Empire and Tarkin. Like I'm down for that. I don't know. Or do you feel like that would be cool?
I think it'd be cool. Like it'd be nice if it was like a longer episode, like a 45-minute episode.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Of just him. But I don't know if we're gonna get any more longer episodes.
I'm gonna say no, because all of them has been consistent, like 25 to 24 minutes. So
I'm sure like
maybe a finale will
might
be a
like
little.
an hour or something.
Yeah. But I don't know. It also seems like if it's developing like this, maybe this is a one season and done. I don't know. I hope not, but I could see how it could end like that.
I don't know. Like I feel like they're spending a lot of money just to not have just one season. Like
True. That's fair.
I don't know.
We'll
They
find
already-
out.
We'll find out.
I don't know.
Hopefully they'll leave it wide open.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But I want Crosshair to be part of them again, though, before the end of this season.
That'd be cool.
Because going into this, we didn't think Crosshair would not be with them, Like, nothing about the trailer, nothing about that was like, no Crosshair. Also, if you see the poster, Jeremiah, I don't know, remember the last time you seen the poster, but Palpatine's on that poster, and we haven't got any Palpatine yet.
Well, we see him doing his address to the Senate in
This,
episode 1.
yeah,
It takes the audio from Revenge of the Sith,
but yeah,
I don't know if we'll see him. I think it'd be cool to see him because like
it'd be cool to see like Tarkin talk to him or something,
Yeah,
or Vader. We still haven't seen a Vader yet. That'd be really cool. I don't know if we
I don't
will.
know.
I have a feeling we won't, but not in this season. It might be like
We'll
Rebels, where we didn't see Vader until like season 2 or something like that.
I think we saw him at the end. Well, we saw him like for like a minute scene. I think in season 1,
Mm.
and then I think season 2 opened with a couple episodes with him in it.
Gotcha.
But I think if we get an episode, the next episode that we get Crosshair in, whether it's a whole episode or just going back and forth, I think we're gonna have to really focus on like how is the Empire now responding to them not able to find the Bad Batch, because the more resources that they're putting in there, I feel like maybe that would be able to gauge if we're going to see Vader or not. Like if they're putting a lot of effort into trying to find them,
True.
then Vader would. But if they're just kind of like more of like an annoyance
Yeah.
and not a priority, then they're not going to send Vader.
I guess it also depends on how much trouble they get into, like how much against the Empire they're gonna start doing. Like with all these missions that they might have to start doing, it could affect the Empire in a way that they are on a higher priority. Right now, it doesn't seem like they're that high a priority yet. So,
Or let's thought of this: what if one of their hires from Sid is to find Saw Gerrera or something?
oh, that would be interesting.
And so, like, that would be them gaining more friends because, or that could maybe be how they meet up with Rex because
that
Rex
might be a
has
Rex thing.
a relationship with Saw Gerrera, and so, like, they could get the hire for that, and they wouldn't have to say anything. Like, they wouldn't say, "Oh, we already know him. Like, he's our friend." Like,
Yeah, they could just go get the hire and then partner up with them or something like
Yeah.
that. Ooh, that would be interesting. What if their next hire is Rex?
No, it wouldn't be Rex because no one knows he's alive. That's the thing.
Oh, true, because he's dead.
He's supposedly dead. so-
Supposedly dead because they buried him next to Ahsoka. Right?
Well, they wouldn't. They would just have been lost bodies. Like,
Yeah, but like there was a grave site or whatever.
yeah, and so.
So
it would just be
I guess
assumed
that makes sense.
that Ahsoka and Rex are dead. So they wouldn't do that unless they. It could be something later on if like Rex reveals himself and he's camera picks him up and like, oh, that's Rex, and then whatever. But
Yeah. Dude, I've been reading that Ahsoka novel. It's so good, dude.
yeah, I bought it and I haven't read it yet.
Dude, it's so good. Like I haven't picked it up in a while, and the other day I picked it up and I read like 4 chapters in one sitting. Like it's so good. So you need to get on it because then we can break it down. I feel like at the end of Bad Batch that would be a fun episode to break down the Ahsoka.
We're not gonna be done until August with the Bad Batch.
That's
So,
yeah. Well, I mean we could do it before, but
yeah, we could do it on Tuesdays. So
yeah, that's true. It doesn't matter. But
Well, anyway, I have nothing else. Do you
I have
anything
nothing.
else?
Nope, I have nothing else. Real quick though, we didn't mention this in the first 5 minutes, but if you want to leave us a voicemail, there's
Yep.
also a link in all those places on Instagram, I believe on Facebook, on Twitch. There's also a link as well, I believe. Either way, go find us wherever you're listening to this podcast too. You can scroll up. There's a link. There should be a link right below that too. Leave us a voicemail. We go over all voicemails on Tuesday nights. You won't hear this, but we are still interested to hear your thoughts on this episode. So you can leave us a voicemail, and we can listen to it on Tuesday and talk about it even more because, I feel like it might get brought up a little bit on Tuesday because Andrew wasn't here to fully break it down too. So we might venture back into episode 5 of Bad Batch on Tuesday as well. Not the full thing, but you never know. Leave us a voicemail.
He'll give his rebuttal to some of the things we said.
Yeah, that's true. When he edits this, he'll be like, wait, what? You guys didn't talk about the one person. Yeah, but
Right. All right, but that's everything for me. Anything
Yeah.
else? That's it?
Nope, that's the
All
only
right.
thing I have too.
All right, so this is another episode of Empire Radio covering the Bad Batch. I'm Jeremiah,
I'm Drew.
and may the Force be with you.
Always.